Hi there, I'm Deb from Deb Web Art, and today I just wanted to talk about finding happiness. So many people feel that happiness is when they earn the money. Happiness comes when they don't have to think about where the next paycheck's coming from. And don't get me wrong, those things definitely contribute. But happiness is about the inside of you. It's about what you have decided. It's about something that is inside. So it's not something that comes about because of what you've bought or what you've eaten. All those things can contribute to create experiences for you. They can be positive experiences or negative experiences, but they are not the things that will bring you that deep happiness. Now, the happiness that I'm talking about it's a deep joy. So it's this joy that is deep within you, and it fills you inside, so that even at times when there is sadness around you or something negative happening, you can still find that nugget of joy inside of you. Does it mean that you're instantly happy? No, not necessarily, because that's like a surface happiness. What we're looking for is the happiness that's inside. So it's that joy, that deep joy, that contentment. Okay, it's deep. And there are ways that you can tap into this, but it definitely comes back. It's kind of like a full circle thing. It comes back to that feeling of being at peace with who you are and where you are and what is happening. It's that feeling of peace. So you might think, oh, that just means that you need to accept what's going on in your life, and what if my life is bad right now? There is a certain element of acceptance, but very often if something bad is happening in life, and this is going to sound really weird to some of you, but if something bad is happening in life, very often it's because of a decision that you have made at some point. You might track it to many years before, but at some point there's been a turn that you've taken that has resulted in some things not being right. Okay? And so if we can take responsibility for all the decisions that we've made that get us to that point. Now, I didn't ask for various things that happened in my life, but they happened. And through those events, you can either really get annoyed and bitter and carry them with you as this big badge of honor, or you can release them and ask them, what did you show me? Or what have I learned from this? And when you do it that way, you're approaching whatever happened to you as something you needed to learn, something you needed for your own personal growth. And when we approach things that way, we can expand so much more. Now, to do this requires a fair bit of responsibility on your part. And as humans, we often want to lay blame at the doorstep of other people or at institutions. But let's just accept full responsibility for ourselves. And if we do that, we can learn that we need to forgive, we need to let go, we need to not be so hung up on holding on tight on things that have potentially can cause us harm. So all of these things we need to let go of. So letting go is a really important part of developing this deep joy and happiness. I worked on the letting go process very much so through art, because in art when you're creating, you get to a point where you go, oh, that's quite nice. And then you have to say to yourself, let's paint over that. And it's actually quite a hard concept, because you just created something that you think is lovely, and then it's let's paint over that. And you have to learn to let go. Let go. Don't attach yourself to it. Just let go. And through that process, I went through a process where I decided that I was going to create a whole lot of backgrounds. Now, when you do that, you're not tying yourself into, I'm going to create houses, or I'm going to create birds, or whatever. You are simply saying, I'm going to just make backgrounds. And by doing that, you are letting yourself free to just paint whatever you like. But you're still going to come up with things that are look really lovely, right? The trick is you can keep maybe 10% of that. The rest you need to cover up. And that's really hard. It's really hard. So I just went through a process, and I did this over and over and over again. And eventually I came to see my art as something that, yes, it was beautiful when I created, but something that I'm happy to let go of. And when you get to that point, you realize that you don't own anything in life. And if you can remove yourself from owning and from controlling everything, you can step into this place of peace, because you have let go. And once you let go of things, and you do this on a regular basis, you might see a friend, or you might see someone who you thought was a friend, and then they say something, and you know how often when you go back home and you start mulling it over, and it goes round and round and round. You learn, let go, because you've been saying it to yourself so often. So this is what happened to me. So because I'd been working on backgrounds, and I'd been going on and on and on with these backgrounds, and just letting go, when something has happened that has had the potential to hurt me, I have been able to go, that's not mine. I'm going to just let that go. And when you start to let go of things like that, you don't form any attachment to those things. You still have people you love. You still have things you love. You still enjoy stuff that's there. It's there, and that's there for you to enjoy. But you let go of outcome. You let go of the attachment of it. And when you do that, it opens up a whole new type of freedom. It opens up a freedom that is peaceful. It's this deep peace that occurs, and it allows you to feel a feeling of contentment and pure joy. So you take it further, so you have that contentment, you have that peace, right? In order to create that pure joy, you then start noticing just the small things around you, and you take joy in what they look like, in what they smell like, in who you're with, or whatever. You start noticing these things because you have let go, and you haven't been holding on. There's not as much noise in your head. You're now feeling at a place of being peaceful. So you've let go of all that noise, and now you're in a peaceful place. And now you can open yourself up to pure joy, because there is not that little person inside your head mulling things over, or, making trouble. So I just wanted to share this with you, because I feel that at this time, well, at any time really, but certainly at this particular time in 2022, that it's really important for us to decide, how do we want our life to look? And when most of us want peace, tranquility, joy, happiness, love, it's a common thing. And if you want those things, then that is what you go for. Along the way, you will bring money to yourself, you will bring wealth, you will bring abundance. It will all flow, but it all starts with you opening yourself up and allowing yourself to feel that peace and contentment. So I just want to leave you with that today, and I will chat to you again soon. Have a great day.